Eala stages miracle comeback to shock Sasnovich in Abu Dhabi. It was a match Eala had no business winning. Yet she did, overcoming a sluggish start, saving a match point, and overturning a seemingly insurmountable deficit in the third set. The 20-year-old Filipina held her ground despite struggling early, rallying past Alexandra Sasnovich of Belarus, 6-2, 4-6, 7-6, 5, on Wednesday at the WTA Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open in the United Arab Emirates. Playing for the second time in 3 days on the main stadium court of the Zayed Sports City International Tennis Center, Eala had only a brief moment of control in the first set, holding serve in the opening game. Sasnovich quickly turned the tide, breaking to go up 3-1. Eala managed to hold serve in the fifth game but dropped it again in the seventh, allowing the Belarusian to take the set 6-2 in just 35 minutes. The second set saw Eala fall behind early once more after losing her serve in the opening game. She finally earned her first break to level at 1-1 and then secured the lead in the third game, which she maintained for the remainder of the set. Despite creating 6 break-point opportunities in the sixth and eighth games, Eala could not widen her lead. Her persistence, however, paid off when she broke former world number 29 Sasnovich in the 10th game, sealing the second set after a tense, hour and 7-minute battle. Sasnovich came out firing in the third, racing to a 4-0 lead and moving within a point of 5-0. Still trailing 5-2, she mounted a remarkable comeback, taking the next 4 games to reclaim the lead, much to the delight of the large Filipino crowd. The veteran Belarusian held her serve in the 12th game, forcing a nail-biting tiebreak. In the tiebreak, Sasnovich regained the edge at 5-4. But Eala, refusing to let her hard-fought comeback go to waste, stayed composed and claimed the final 3 points to secure a stunning victory. Eala will have less than a day to recover as she is scheduled to face second seed Ekaterina Alexandrova of Russia in the quarterfinals on Thursday. She will also compete later in the doubles quarterfinals alongside Janice Tien of Indonesia, taking on second seeds and recent Australian Open champion Zhang Shuai of China and Cristina Buxa of Spain. Eala stages a miracle comeback to shock Sasnovich in Abu Dhabi. Under the soft desert lights of Abu Dhabi, the tennis court shimmered like a mirage. Heat still clung to the air, stubborn and unmoved, as if daring the night to cool it. In the stands, the crowd had settled into the rhythm of expectation. This was supposed to be routine. A seasoned campaigner versus a young dreamer. Experience versus belief. What followed was anything but routine. Eala walked onto the court carrying more than a racket. She carried a nation's quiet hope, the kind that travels across oceans and time zones, whispered in early morning alarms and late-night streams. Across the net stood Alexandra Sasnovich, battle-hardened, composed, and fully at home on the professional stage. On paper, the script was clear. Tennis, of course, has never cared much for paper. From the opening games, Sasnovich asserted herself with authority. Her shots cut clean lines through the court, deep and deliberate, pushing Eala back and stealing time from her swing. The Belarusian moved with the calm of someone who has been here many times before, her body language relaxed, her decisions precise. Eala, by contrast, looked momentarily rushed, her feet scrambling, her timing just a fraction late. Errors crept in. Then more followed. The scoreboard tilted, and with it came that familiar, dangerous feeling, the sense that the match was slipping away before it had even begun. For many young players, this is where doubt takes over. Where shoulders slump, where safe shots replace brave ones. Where the match quietly ends long before the final point. But Eala has never been built for quiet endings. Between points, she paused. Reset. There was no dramatic gesture, no visible frustration. Just a narrowing of focus, as if the noise of the stadium had been turned down and only the court remained. She began to swing freer, trusting her left-handed forehand, letting it arc heavy and high before dropping viciously into the corners. The comeback did not arrive all at once. It never does. It arrived in small rebellions, a return taken early, robbing Sasnovich of time. A defensive scramble that turned into an audacious passing shot. A hold of serve that lasted just long enough to remind everyone. especially herself, that she belonged here. Slowly the energy shifted. Sasnovich, sensing resistance where she expected surrender, pressed harder. Lines grew riskier. Margins thinner. And where Eala once chased, she now anticipated. Where she once reacted, she now dictated. The rallies lengthened, then tilted, then bent entirely in her favor. Every sport has moments where belief becomes visible. In Abu Dhabi, belief wore a visor and moved with quick, determined steps between points. The crowd felt it before the scoreboard confirmed it. A murmur replaced the earlier calm, swelling into applause at the end of lung-burning exchanges. Neutral fans leaned forward. This was no longer a match ticking toward its conclusion, it was a story unfolding in real time. Sasnovich fought back as veterans do. She changed pace, threw in variety, tested Eala's patience with slices and sudden depth. But the young Filipina refused to blink. She absorbed the pressure, redirected it, and answered with courage. Not reckless courage, but the steady kind, the kind that trusts preparation over panic. When the decisive moments arrived, Eala didn't flinch. Her serve found its mark. Her returns landed deep. Her footwork stayed light even as the tension thickened. Each point carried weight, and she carried it like someone who had trained for this long before this night ever arrived. And then, suddenly, it was over. The final point did not come with fireworks or theatrics. Just a ball struck cleanly, placed beyond reach, and a brief pause, half disbelief, half confirmation, before reality settled in. Eala looked up, eyes wide, a smile breaking through as the crowd erupted. A miracle comeback. A shock result. A reminder. In the handshake at the net, there was respect. Sasnovich nodded, knowing how thin the line had been between control and collapse. Eala walked off the court with quiet composure, but the significance followed her, impossible to ignore. This win was more than an upset in Abu Dhabi. It was a declaration. For Eala, it marked another step in a journey defined by patience, sacrifice, and an unshakable sense of possibility. She has long been seen as a promise of what could be junior titles, historic firsts, flashes of brilliance. On this night, she showed something deeper: resilience under pressure, adaptability against experience, and the courage to rewrite the script mid-match. Tennis is a lonely sport. There are no timeouts to hide in, no teammates to lean on when momentum turns. When things go wrong, the only way out is through. Eala chose to go through, with clarity, with heart, and with a fearless belief in her own game. Under the Abu Dhabi lights, a miracle unfolded not because it defied logic, but because it honored effort. Because sometimes, when preparation meets opportunity, the shock isn't that it happened. The shock is that anyone ever doubted it could.